Hey, today we have a lot to discuss. The developers have provided specific details on which bugs have been resolved. This includes main missions, side quests, factions, and much more. One of the most exciting recent developments was Bethesda's announcement on the beta testing program exclusively for Steam users only. This will allow PC players to experience the patches sooner and provide some feedback to the developers in case any unexpected issues do arise. Fortunately, we now have a clear understanding of what will be patched soon thanks to the Bethesda support site. Well, interesting enough, there are some comments on the site by the developers talking about specific bugs that have been resolved. For example, first on the list is going to be a huge issue with this main mission, Into the Unknown. Quote, "We are aware of issues where this main mission does not show the visual distortion when using the scanner, may get stuck on the go-to, or may not initiate after completing the old neighborhood. These will be resolved in a future update." End quote. This has been a huge problem for a majority of you, and I've read quite a few comments in the past, and it's interesting to see that this has now been resolved. And now moving on towards number 2. Next we have Power from Beyond mission, which is also bugged. The developers have left this at the bottom saying, "We are aware of 2 issues that may occur. In rare cases, both of these issues will be resolved in a future update. The mission marker does not point to the temple in Power from Beyond. Some players may not be able to acquire the remaining powers from Vlad before entering New Game Plus." End quote. Again, this is another issue that not only in the comments section, but I've seen this pretty much everywhere, where some of you out there that are completionists are not able to grab all of your stuff. So then you had to travel to New Game Plus, and then, it became a huge problem. Continuing on towards number 3, the developers are looking into the Deep Cover Crimson Fleet faction mission. If you take a look on the screen here, it says, quote, "We are investigating reports that players are experiencing issues with this mission, Deep Cover," end quote. Honestly, I do not know what exactly the issue is with this mission, but if you have been experiencing a bug with it, let me know down below. Coming up at number 4, we have another faction bug, and this is going to be with the Ryujin Industries, and the mission is going to be sabotage. The developers have left this at the bottom saying, quote, "We are aware of an issue where some players are not able to deliver the item to David Barron. While we work to resolve this issue, if you are currently on the main mission and want to continue, reverting back to an earlier save before you enter the area where this mission takes place may allow you to progress," end quote. This right here is a no-brainer, but also not a choice, because sometimes when you do revert back, you may end up just popping that bug right back up. Number 5, the next one has to do with a question that says, quote, "What do I do if I get stuck using the FaceTime power in Starfield? We are aware of an issue where players are having issues getting stuck infinitely using the FaceTime power and are working towards a resolution," end quote. This is another issue that I've read in the comments quite a lot as well, and it can be triggered randomly. Not too sure if there's a specific way to do it, but all I know is, again, you can just trigger it out of nowhere. Moving towards number 6, No Sudden Moves is currently bugged, and it is a main mission. Quote, "We are aware of an issue that prevents players from re-entering the scout automatic door if they leave during the mission No Sudden Moves and come back at a later time. The issue will be resolved in a future update," end quote. This same exact issue can actually happen over at Neon, and it's interesting how it works out, but there's actually a specific side quest that locks you out permanently, and the only way to unlock the door is if you punch a random NPC. This will then bring the NPCs at the very top all the way to the bottom and unlock the door for you. Number 7, Matters of the Heart is a companion mission that's also currently bugged. And it says at the bottom, quote, "We are aware of an issue where that prevents players from entering the ship after approaching Valerie's secret cache. Attempting to enter the ship multiple times over the course of a few minutes may resolve this. This will be resolved in a future update," end quote. I have yet to come across that bug, and that's mainly because I've chosen Sandra as my lover on Starfield. Oh boy, man, she complains a lot when you try to rob somebody. With that being said, at number 8, we have Divided Loyalties, which is another companion mission that's bugged. And it says at the bottom, quote, "We are aware of various issues with this mission that can block progression. This will be resolved in a future update," end quote. But this time, they seem to really bold out that part right there where it says this will be resolved in a future update. Not too sure why they did that, but it's a little different compared to the other post. Anyways, number 9, this next one is something that a lot of you have been requesting to be fixed, and it seems they have done just that. The main mission, All That Money Can Buy, is currently bugged, but it has also been resolved and will be arriving in the next future update. Quote, we are aware of an issue where some players may experience issues with starting and advancing various stages of the mission, All That Money Can Buy. This will be resolved in a future update, end quote. The next update seems to be quite beefy just from all these fixes that they're talking about, and we're not done just yet because there's a lot more here. The next main mission that's currently bugged is Empty Nest. Quote, we are aware of an issue that prevents some players from advancing the mission after picking up the artifact. If you are experiencing this issue, reverting back to an earlier save, end quote, yada yada yada. This is pretty much the same exact stuff that they tell you all the time, and we're just gonna skip past that crap. What's intriguing is that they are aware of the issue, but they've yet to state whether or not they're going to be taking a look at this, or if it's just gonna be pushed to the side, who knows. Number 10, we have another main mission that's bugged, and this time it's High Price to Pay. At the bottom it says, quote, we are aware of an issue that occurs when players are running to escape to their ship. If you tried to take the elevator from the whale to the spaceport, the doors do not open. This issue will be resolved in a future update, end quote. This one I've yet to come across, and I'm not too sure if you have been experiencing this one, and if you have, it's definitely going to be fixed on the next update. Number 11, we have the Old Neighborhood main mission bug. They've said at the bottom, quote, we are investigating an issue that occurs when players enter Mora's ship, preventing players from talking to Mora to advance the mission, end quote. This is another huge problem that they're fixing, and I cannot wait to see this patch, but really they're investigating it, so it's not really determined whether or not it has been fixed or not. Number 12, we have another faction that's currently bugged. This time it's going to be UC Vanguard, and the mission is Eyewitness. Then at the bottom you can see that it says, quote, we are aware of an issue that prevents some players from talking to Hadrian to start this mission. This will be resolved in the future update, end quote. There seems to be quite a few faction side missions and all these other ones, they're just bugged, and it's crazy to think, you know, at first you're just like, well, there's a lot of bugs, and then when you start to read it, you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of bugs. Number 13, a faction mission is currently bugged as well, which is for the Crimson Fleet, and the mission is Eye of the Storm. Well, we are aware of an issue where some players may not see the docking option for legacy ships, and the objective for transferring the credits during the step, wait for transfer to complete, fails to download the credits. This will be resolved in a future update, end quote. It's good to see this bug is finally being resolved because it was quite annoying to come across, and I'm sure some of you out here are just cheering this stuff on. Let's go on and talk about the next bug that was fixed. Number 14, we have another faction mission that's currently bugged. This time it's Freestar Rangers, and the mission is On the Run. At the bottom, the developers have said, quote, we are aware of an issue where players may be unable to give Alex Shadid the third encrypted slate, and another where May Divine does not make her introduction, preventing progress. This issue will be resolved in a future update. Nothing like a bug that just completely locks you out, right? So that you cannot progress forward. Oh, we all love those, but thankfully this is something that's going to be fixed, and we'll see what happens. Number 15, we have another faction mission that's bugged, and this time it's Rook meets King. At the bottom it says, we are aware of an issue where players are not able to hail the Estrella. The issue will be resolved in a future update. Now headed on towards a normal mission here, we have Failure to Communicate, which is currently bugged. At the bottom it says, quote, we are aware of an issue where sometimes you may not be able to speak to Albin. This will be resolved in a future update, end quote. Well, it's great to see so many of these missions and quests being fixed. I mean, I'm surprised there's so much to talk about, but they have yet to be public about this. I think if they were to do this a lot sooner, or at least kind of grab all of this information and put it together, possibly some of the players out here may not be as frustrated as they are right now. Anyways, going on towards the next one, we're going to talk about this right here, which says, quote, why are events not appearing on the star map? We are aware of an issue where events like hostile activity, ship, or sensor contract will not appear on the star map after changing your ship, end quote. This is another issue that I've come across as well, and it's, again, just some frustrating stuff, but really it's good to see another patch coming along here that will fix this issue. The next question that was asked can be found right here, saying, quote, why are textures missing in New Atlantis? We are aware of an issue where geometry, interactable objects, and NPCs are disappearing from New Atlantis after changing your home ship on the Den space station. This issue is currently being investigated, end quote. And And to be fair here, I could probably help them out quite easily because it's not just the den, it's actually really just any star station, at least any star station with a ship technician nearby. And the only way to trigger this is pretty much if you do rob a random ship and then take it back to one of the star station and swap out your ship to the home ship instantly. Now there was also this question right here which says, quote, why is my ship lock on time slower? We are aware of an issue where the ship target lock time may become slower after maxing out the target control system skill. This issue will be resolved in a future update, end quote. Well, I've yet to max out that skill, but if you guys have the idea of doing so, I would definitely I would not do it right now, at least until the patch is ready and available. And then continuing on towards the next one, which says, quote, why are ranks 3 and 4 rejuvenation skill not providing regeneration during combat in Starfield? We are aware of an issue where ranks 3 and 4 rejuvenation skill do not provide health regeneration during combat. This issue will be resolved in a future update, end quote. Now I do believe there's actually more issues with some of these skills, but I cannot remember at the top of my head. But it's good to see another fix coming along for these skills. And last but not least, we have this question right here, quote, why is my ship being renamed to UC Navy A Cargo and is now inaccessible? We are aware of an issue where players may be unable to rename a registered stolen ship after using the ship for several hours. It may also be renamed to UC Navy A Cargo and become inaccessible. This will be resolved in a future update, end quote. And I cannot recall this one either if I have ever come across something like this, but regardless, it's going to be fixed and I cannot wait for this next update. With everything being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I will be answering within the first hour or two. If you have yet to subscribe, click that subscription button and make sure that you're notified for all. And if you do not plan on subscribing, hopefully you have a great Thanksgiving and a Christmas. I am having a terrible time talking. I am super exhausted right now, but thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. For those that do come back and check out the video, whether you are subscribed or if you're not, but it definitely helps out if you are subscribed and you have those notifications on. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the love and support. I will forever say that to you guys. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.